crippled. On the field, recurring plays were fine, but if Coach tossed in a new play on the fly, I struggled. To overcome this, I studied his entire playbook every night before bed and first thing every morning waking up. I would also go through it just before every practice and every game. My hope was that I would commit each play to memory beyond short term. Repetitively walking through the plays helped to secure the memories in a different section of my brain too, so it wasn't uncommon to find me on the field just running through each scenario during my downtime. I knew I had a disadvantage, but I'd be damned if I was going to let it hold me back from chasing my dreams. And so far, it was working. Here I was, heading into my third consecutive year with an undefeated team. We'd landed in a playoff round last year that had drawn national attention. On the one hand, that had been amazing and exciting, renewing interest in me on a higher scale and attracting several NFL scouts to games this season. But that hadn't exactly been great for the Ark. The stadium was housed just off campus in the event something like this occurred. Plus, it helped not having an excessive number of humans wandering around our school during home game weekends. The Ark was supposed to be a bit of a sanctuary for young shifters, a place we didn't have to fully hide or fear our secrets would be found. My recent celebrity status had more than a few people on edge, and a ton of new admission requests from humans. They were all declined, of course, but it had certainly not been a welcome experience for everyone. For me, it had reignited my dreams of someday playing in the National Football League. I was so close I could taste it now, if I could just manage to pass history and anatomy before I got my ass benched. Deciding I had to take action and admit my own failures, I broke down and signed up for a tutor through the library. I thought maybe that would be a better option than a study group, which tended to derail and discuss my football stats instead of the assignments. This was no better, though. The girl they assigned to tutor me had just sat there and stared with stars in her eyes. She could barely string a coherent sentence together in my presence, let alone explain anything of value. Sure, I had occasionally caused that effect with women, but usually it went away quickly after spending more than a few minutes with me. Holden had always been better with the ladies. It wasn't that I had any problems finding dates or attracting women. I was just too self-focused to keep one for long. Whereas Holden had been the ultimate player, a true ladies' man, right up until the moment he went on a blind date with one of my best friends, who wasn't supposed to be there. I shook my head and smiled. Marie was a great girl. She had never put up with my bullshit and helped keep me in line. She was super smart. Without her, I would have probably flunked out of college my freshman year. She had known me before the star status had kicked in, before I was the famed quarterback of Archibald Reynolds. I liked to think that even if we had met after that change in my life, that she still wouldn't have given a shit about any of that. Now she was my twin's mate, so I got to keep her in my life in the best way possible. I was just thankful I didn't have to live with her anymore. Or them, rather. Up until this year, the three of us had been roommates. When another room became available in the doghouse where we lived, I took it. At first, Dylan had moved in with me, but after only 2 weeks, he apologized and moved back in to share with Finn and Asher. My early morning workout schedule wasn't conducive for his late-night partying senior year plans. It dubbed me the nickname Old Man in the house. I didn't care. My days started early, well before the crack of dawn, so I needed to be in bed early the night before. I wasn't a complete recluse. I did make it a point to attend all brother functions regardless of my schedule. But during season play, especially this year, I simply didn't have the time or energy to waste on parties keeping me up all hours every single night. I could barely squeeze in time for classes, let alone anything else, which was how I ended up stuck in this history class as an elective. It had seemed like the best option at the time, but no one had warned me the amount of memorization it would take to pass. I walked into the doghouse, home of Delta Omega Gamma, the fraternity to which I was a proud brother. Rushing dog my freshman year had been the best decision I'd ever made. Looking back on college, the memories made with my brothers would reign higher than anything, even football. I walked into the house for the evening, still hot and sweaty after practice. A shower was calling my name. Unfortunately for me, Marie and Holden were hanging out in the living room. "We need to talk," Marie said, jumping up from my brother's lap the second she saw me. "Can I take a shower first?" "No." I groaned. "What is it, Marie?" "You request